Alright guys, we gotta get this freaking engine done. It's been way too long, our 302 engine build for the Iron Horse 65 Mustang. We gotta get this thing up and running soon. You know, the year's almost done, right? Well, change of plans. We're not actually building that engine anymore. Now we're gonna build this one. Yep, you heard me right. We're not even building this engine anymore. This is our 302 engine build that we have been working on for a long time at this point. It's literally been years we have been working on this. Nickel diming me, you know, the little here, a little there. Why so freaking long? Well, for one thing, parts cost money, which I don't have, right? I mean, I just bought a freaking house, for criminy sakes. So saving up for that and everything else has really put a damper on projects, right? But more importantly, the big thing that we've been working on is I have these really slick AFR Renegade 165 cylinder heads that have been ported and have a larger 202 intake diameter valve in them. Well, you know, that's a problem because we can't get pistons that work with it. And the pistons we have, I can't seem to find heads that'll work with those because any iron heads I pick up are complete junk. So that has been the perpetual motion machine of delay and disappointment for all of this time. So you know what? No longer are we building this block. We're building that one. And what exactly is that one that I just mentioned? This is actually the engine that came out of the Iron Horse, the 65 Mustang. This is the one we pulled last fall to rip out to put the other one in once we get that other one built. My thought process was if we rip this thing out in the fall, then by spring I would have to have an engine built to put back in it. It'd be like a motivator. Well, it's almost August now, so that clearly didn't fucking work. So, because, you know, the same problems that persisted just didn't change in all that time. So now we're building this block. I got it all painted up, right? Cleaned it the best I could, painted it up, made it look pretty. I got a start on honing the cylinders, right? And if you take a look at these cylinders, they actually cleaned up really nicely. I mean, you know, there's a shade spot right there. There's a low spot. You got vertical scratches in every cylinder towards the bottom there. They're by far not perfect, but compared to what I thought it was going to be, this thing got overheated like nuclear on, you know, a regular basis. So I thought it was going to be trashed. Actually, it's pretty okay. I mean, good enough for our purposes, right? I still got to take a razor blade to this gasket surface and clean that up yet, but it's coming along, let me tell you. I got rough stones on it now, 220 stones. I'm going to do a 400 grit stone next, because we're using plasma moly rings. But you might be saying, whoa, when did this all happen? What the heck's going on here? Well, I'll tell you what happened. Actual progress, that's what. Let me show you. And by progress, I mean we now have pistons that will work with those AFR heads, which is phenomenal. Now, why weren't these stock style pistons working? Now, these are the pistons that came out of the block I just showed you. We were working with Nick McMahon's forged pistons that he generously donated to the channel, which I truly appreciate. I've been opening up the valve pockets on them. Now, the valve pockets on these stock style valves are just dinky, to say the least, both depth and diameter wise. This is our intake valve that we're going to be using with the heads. As you can clearly see, the size difference is palatable. Not only that, but the depth was something I, you know, was having a hard time with too. Oh, my brand new bench now has oil all over it. Dang it. That's okay. So, they must have been oil hiding in the pin there. Oh well. Anyhoozle. So now we got these. Now what these are, they're Facebook Marketplace specials. I believe they're Speed Pro pistons. There's the logo for them right there. Clearly used, but, you know, what's trash to some is treasure to others, right? But the treasure being, look at the valve pockets. These things fit like a glove in here. So they are going to work with our diameter valve and our camshaft, which is the Anderson. What camshaft do we have in that thing now? N41, that's what it was. The Anderson N41 camshaft. Now, I probably could get those one pistons to work, the ones Nick and McMahon generously donated to us. I feel bad for not using them. The only problem is the amount of metal between these two. Initially, when I put it in the block and I test fit it with Play-Doh and everything else, it looked like there was only just a little bit that I needed to remove. Well, you know, come to find out, the lifter might not have been bled all the way. I used a check spring valve, so, and hydraulic lifters. But after soaking the lifter, putting it in there and rerunning it, it was a lot more than I thought it was. Okay, let's just put that out there. The amount of metal that I would have to remove in order to make this thing work, now I would be worrying about balancing issues. Before I really wasn't. You know, you just skimming a little bit off the eyebrow, you know, opening it up just a little bit. That wasn't too concerning about balancing issues. But the actual hogging out of the, well, you know, eyebrows, that was a bit too much. I was getting a bit nervous about it. And I found these for cheap on Facebook Marketplace, so I picked them up. Picked them up thinking they were standard bore. Because that's, well, frankly, what he said they were. Well, after cleaning them off, which, not this one, but one of these, as you can see right here, it says 0.04. 40 over. So, which was a bit of a surprise, but luckily we have a 40 over block. The one that came out of the Iron Horse happens to be 40 over. So it ended up working. It just means we had to now get that old, disgusting, worn out 302 that we pulled out of the Iron Horse, ready, prepped to be rebuilt. So that's what I've been working on. Our last little note about this engine build is the fact that this is non-roller block. This is a 60s, 70s 302 block casting. So not roller lifters. Well, we're going to use our hydraulic roller camshaft in this thing, our Anderson N41. So I got link bar lifters. So these are not expensive. They are rattly. They'll work just fine. They're just going to be a bit noisy. I got the cheapest of the cheap for this deal because, well, this engine just needs to get together, last the rest of this year, and, you know, until we can get something else going. We got plenty of other plans. We just need something to work, right? Which this will. The only major complaint I found about these things is they're noisy. Well, I mean, we can just kind of ignore that. The exhaust will be so loud we won't be able to hear this anyway, so that will work just fine for our purposes. Now, why don't we just take a second to admire my setup here that I got going on. We redid the workbench. We took it apart, we cut down the legs, we lowered it, because the workbench was like up to here when I first moved in. Now it's, you know, down here where you can actually work on stuff. And we added a whole nother workbench section here, and I got all my tires and everything down there. It's starting to look pretty good, if I do say so myself. So, you know, actual usable space is just amazing, let me tell you. But that workbench ain't the only thing I've been working on in here. Look at my wall. I've got it covered up with cardboard and plastic to try to keep the heat in during the winter. Not only that, but behind that cardboard, I have wax-filled cardboard. I work in produce, so we get boxes impregnated with wax to ship all the things packed in ice and whatnot. It's completely water-resistant stuff. Really good. Wax is an insulator, as far as I know, so I got a whole layer of that thick, waxy cardboard behind all of that nice-looking cardboard, plus the plastic, all those air pockets in between. I think this is going to retain heat in the winter, which is key to being able to make YouTube in the winter now that I have this house, because I don't have any engine stuff in the house. It's all out here. So I need to be able to work out here when it's negative 40 out there. That's the goal. Why didn't I put up like insulation in between the studs? Well, because not the studs are nowhere near the same length apart as each other. There's someone played Tetris with wood. I mean, you got like scaffolding built into these walls. This garage was built in the 30s, and well, you know, someone just kind of plopped it onto this pre-existing slab. The slab wasn't even big enough. 2 walls are on concrete, the other 2 were on dirt. So the dirt was deteriorating quite the dirt was deteriorating quite rapidly. The walls, the studs of the building, so reinforcement studs were put up various times. And so I've dug out the dirt and I poured in concrete to try to, you know, eliminate some of that issue. But back to the car. We gotta get that engine built, you know, at some point here so that we can get this thing on the road before winter happens, right? What else is going on with the engine? I dropped off the crankshaft to a machine shop yesterday. I thought it was worse off than I remember it being worse off than it actually is. I double checked it. I thought all those giant scratches in the crank were like giant scratches. Actually, they're pretty superficial. It'll just polish right up. I probably could have just done it here with, you know, a little shoestring and some sandpaper, but I just dropped it off there so that I can work on other things. Like I said, I gotta get the engine block honed to its final hone. Then I can start gapping rings because, you know, it's going to be nitrous, right? We're spraying that thing. Even though those are hyper-eutectic pistons instead of forged pistons like we were planning, as long as the ring gap's good, we're still going to be golden. So that is what's going on with the engine build. As soon as I get the crankshaft back and get the piston rings gapped, it all slams together and it goes in the block, button it up on the underneath with the Windsor tray, oil pump, all of that jazz. Bolt on the oil pan, and we're going to have a short block. Actually, we're going to have a long block pretty soon after that because I got head studs, not expensive ones, cheapy, just cheap head studs. They're not ARPs or anything, not necessary for this application. But we got head studs nonetheless because, you know, the price was right. Gonna mount the head on as soon as we get a gasket. We got to figure out our gasket size based on our piston valve clearance. After we figure that out, we'll get a gasket. We'll have a long block and, well, pretty soon a running engine, hopefully, before, you know, like I said, winter hits. Now don't forget, we also have the XMC project going on. Now this thing we have to hone out the base of the cylinder bores, or Venturi bores rather. I got engine block cylinders on my mind. As soon as we hone these out to accept a 750 base plate, then this is getting sent off. I should really just get this done and out of the way and send it off so that I can work on this other stuff, but really the engine build is moving at a pace we haven't seen in quite a long time, so I'm kind of sticking on the engine building phase. As soon as I reach a spot where I can't move any further, we're going to get this done, get it shipped back out, and see what that does. Just a reminder, this is about 112 CFM more than stock and twice the booster signal as stock, which is disproportional amount of booster signal compared to the amount of CFM gained. It's twice the booster signal as a carburetor the same size as this, including that 112 CFM. So really the booster signal is really impressive. But more on this later. Right now I want to show you this. Now, what this box of stuff is really, I mean, I don't even have the words to describe it, to be honest with you. I got blindsided on a live stream the other day, and it pretty much went like this.
Okay, Dan, so
what is all this?
So,
Oh, this is for you.
no.
Oh, wait, that necromancer.
That's a group of your very good friends.
What?
On YouTube decided to pitch in and I'll send something for a housewarming gift for you.
Holy shit! Really? Well, how did you set this up?
That guy.
Well, oh, sick. What? I made some phone calls and then snuckered Tom into helping. So, what the hell could you guys possibly? We got you the one thing you didn't have. Wait, oh shit, all of this shit?
We got one from Witty.
Yeah, there's a couple boxes. Should be anyway. Oh my Lanta. I don't even. What? Pegboard. And holy. I'm not used to getting stuff and things. What is this? Yeah, we knew you needed stuff, so we got together and got you what we could.
So yeah, this is a gift to me from, my good friend. I've never met any of them in person, but I consider them all family. It was a housewarming gift for me from the Junkyard Necromancer, 6% recycled, Witty's Garage, Picking with Pickle, New Guy's Guitar, my brother, Chad from Honest Bait and Speed Shop, Does Nothing Special. All of these guys got together and got me presents. Take a look at this stuff. A whole set of fucking pliers and clippers and needle noses and, the big guy. This was sent by Honest Bait and Speed Shop. Thank you very much. I got to get up there and meet you. You're only about 2 hours away, give or take, so I got to get up there and meet you. This was mine, so don't pay any attention to that. The Junkyard Necromancer got me a full set of wrenches. Every size wrench imaginable. You got Pittsburgh brand. Thank you. I mean, I needed, after I moved, to be honest with you, all my tools, I have no idea where they are. They are shoved in boxes. They are probably scattered through the car. I don't know where any of my crap is, so trying to do stuff has been difficult. Now that I got all these tools, that's going to be amazing. Junkyard Necromancer got me those. Witty's Garage got me the screwdrivers. I got all kinds of screwdrivers. I mean, mostly flatheads, which is the ultimate screwdriver, I will tell you. Just a whole assortment of screwdrivers. Huge, because I can never find a screwdriver. I have my trusty butter knife, but I can never find a screwdriver when I need one. Mainly why I started using the butter knife, because I could always find one of them, ironically. So, thank you very much for that, man. Very much appreciate it. I think 6%, Picking with Pickle, and Does Nothing Special all band together and got me just an array of every socket I could ever want. I mean, different sizes, different lengths. Got shorts, got longs. We got the small 1/4 inch and the 3/4 drive sockets. We got we got more of them here. Right here, actually. Give me you. Yes. I got extensions. I got fancy extensions. I got the wobble extensions. Normally all my stuff wobbles, but that's because of hard use and, using it for not intended purposes. These were actually meant to, you know, do the wobble so you can kind of use it like a swivel head without the hassle of a swivel head. I got, I think it was in here, wasn't it? Oh, 5/8. Need that. Desperately need that, actually. Oh yeah, right here. Ah! Well, just drop it on the ground, why don't I? Yeah, right here. I got adapters to adapt different sizes to different drive heads. I mean, just overall, my tool set is just phenomenal now. It blows me away that they all got together to get me all this stuff. It just, you know, it really warms my heart. And I want to thank you guys. It means so much to me that you guys would do that. I got to get you back somehow. Oh, and right back here, this big thing. This is a huge sheet of pegboard. So I'm going to be getting that up right above my workstation there. That was from my brother. Fucking New Guy's Guitar, Tom. He got me that. So appreciate it, bro. That's going to be a huge help to put all those tools onto once I get that far. So like I said, that's amazing stuff. So overall, guys, I want to thank all of you for being so patient with me with this whole endeavor. I have not been doing very much YouTube ever since the house buying adventure began. Well, because I, you know, had to get them paperwork among paperwork. It was a nightmare, right? So I just kind of stopped doing YouTube. But now we are full steam ahead on all kinds of projects. Like I said, I am blasting out this engine build. We will get this thing done and on the road. We have our new Mickey Thompson slicks with our US mags we're going to put on the back of the car that I didn't show you in this video but have in previous. So go watch previous videos so that you're all caught up with what we got going on if you're new to the channel. Yeah, just all kinds of stuff, the carburetor stuff. I am working. You'll see more of it. But for now, that's it. And I'll catch you next time. You know what I should do is get that 351 Cleveland out from underneath the table, out of that beat up garbage bag, and send it to the machine shop. Get it cleaned up and, you know, have nice, painted up real nice and have it on a stand. Having this thing all nice and painted up has been really nice. I got nice paint over here, nice paint here. Get that all nice and painted up. Shit, this place would be full of jewelry, I tell you what.